Is that you or the other?
It's me.
Would you it seems like it's the next direction.
No. Do as you must.
Okay, we must.
I'll attempt to pop a fireball here.
Just
See if
trying
anybody
to
else
light
can
up
see
the
it.
forest.
Oh, I'm fine, just distracted. I assume they're already on their way there. To the city. Not nervous, maybe a little. Just full of thoughts. Memories. Thank you. I think he's okay. I'm not sure. Might be similar. It's been so long, it feels like. An entire lifetime. For some. Orpheus.
I will admit, coming out of a different portal than you was weird.
It certainly was not expected.
I'm just glad I wasn't in the sun.
Yes. Was that all of you? In your group?
Yeah. Yep. Was it just us separated from you all, or
No.
still more people missing?
There's more we're missing, so hopefully they weren't
Shimmering nothing assholes.
dumped into the sea.
I don't exactly the one separating us being part of their, you know, guess work.
Luckily, we
I
saw
do
the
not
building here.
think they would have. I do not think they would have done it intentionally.
Hmm.
It does not help them for us to be separated.
I don't trust the wind
Didn't really
punches, really.
feel
Perhaps the
safe.
path between
So-
locations is disrupted. After all, the spirit realm
Maybe.
and its entrances here are being tampered with. That could reach
So
further.
something must be wrong with the mana, considering the spirit realm then.
Who knows?
Either way, biggest lead we have right now is hoping that
Suppose
they're
we should
around the
just,
same forests. I'd rather not wander through the woods, if that was your.
I suppose we
if that's your suggestion.
They're scenic.
resolve
But-
to make it to
It would be better for us to continue towards.
The town, which is in that direction. It's what we were heading towards in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
off to capital.
Led us to you, so.
Might as well.
See the palaces from here.
You can.
I was hoping we would be arriving to one of the outlying towns or shrine. Not directly here.
I think we were supposed to end up in a shrine.
No such luck.
What's the town name and what can you tell us about it? How we walk, it would be the best if you at least let
Which
us know,
one?
so then we're not just discourteous.
I mean, this is likely Hinodae
It
itself,
is- I
but it's changed some.
which
But not
means the
much.
chances the Kazuya is much greater.
Yes, nice.
We're going to be in trouble for randomly showing up in that wood without proper entry.
Those of the Kalypsia, most likely not.
We can hope. That's if our ship's even here, actually, thinking about it. How are we gonna get back to the ship?
Good question. Sorry.
You okay?
No.
Take your time.
Take your time. Take
Allergies.
Your time. There's probably a lot of pollen in the air, considering.
Something's never changed.
I just realized something. We don't even know if this is like Yeah, are the portals two ways, actually? That's a good question.
Must be. Can't call back.
They
Looks like
took the
they
keys.
found a gate.
There's multiple gates. We entered in through a rather strange spot. Here, this way.
You're part of the Kalypsia.
Is that so? Open? Few places for shelter. That was intentionally done by design. Foot traffic, commerce, paranoia.
It is the first time I exploded from Hinodae without any pressure. Very specific.
Have you been here before?
No. Never
Just
directly.
know a few people.
Except for one time.
I'm
was
in,
not
right?
enjoyable. Correct.
Jay.
Everyone's in map already. Just take one of these 3 blue portals over here. Yeah. Okay,
Are you double miking?
Everyone can, everyone can hear you.
oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes,
Did you all arrive together?
some of us. There's still a group I haven't seen. Well, still some I haven't seen.
I arrived with Faven, Toffee, Alden, Baron here, looks like Leto.
I do believe those were the ones that were unaccounted for. So.
You can find most of our supplies in storage, but I'd like to go into notes about the room.
So they are who they say they are. Very well.
That was Lady with Tail.
Oh, that is Lady with Tail. Okay.
You did not run off.
Why?
Did they want us all to go in?
Because
or?
they told us not to, and then you ran off.
Oh, I didn't know.
At this point, seeing as they have vouched for your identities, there is less reason to be as concerned, but do be aware of the state of the city. We have?
My name is Amiko, but you can call me Toby.
Not now.
Why? What?
Maybe just be a bit quiet for the moment.
I
Just let them talk.
apologize for the absence of my letters. I realized after hearing what was happening here with the ether vein that they could be intercepted and that might be more harm than good.
It matters not. No. And we can discuss that another time. I think we have more pressing things to get to.
We heard about the situation of the jail. We received the new letter a few days ago. As of then, the Kalypsia has been stranded in Rivendell for the past few days as well. So we have received information from a group concerned even more about the Black
That's
about how Etherbeam is targeting the spirit realm. The one over there mentioned it earlier, but if you are able to grow the plant within an area with more dense mana energy like the spirit realm, it may counteract the current background effects. We're assuming it evolved because of it, actually.
No. I was dishonored and banished. I am not worthy to set foot back in
harvest materials to perfect a cure.
bold Hinodae.
You may run into trouble in that regard. Well, they are there, or at least I can assume so, based off of your own report.
Arigato.
They've been targeting the Kitsune.
Screw it.
Trying maidens.
At this point.
Many have gone missing, only few have returned.
I'm quite disappointed as well.
Sorry?
Why does it seem like
Here's
I
just
don't know
the-
my disappointment, but I do like
Those are
making
the
new
fault-
friends, and I don't want to see someone left out here alone.
If they are still alive, they may be infected by the especially the kitsunes who
Same day.
may retaliate.
Probably the
because
best
of
person that I've met
Yeah,
and doing that.
so once you're able to complete our objective,
Arigato. Your words
I
are
would
too
like that to
kind.
be my first priority. The stability of the spirit.
We're placed from such tall buildings, it is shocking how short the ceilings are.
And at least one of our interests align.
The buildings are built tall for defense, but the interiors are made for Hinodaeans. We are
Yeah,
not
yeah.
as tall the people
Or the
as
current rate of casualty.
those from beyond.
Admittedly, I would have much preferred you didn't make it this far.
Some
Things aren't
say
looking
that
good
the
here.
buildings' interiors were made short on
A
purpose,
little less than a month ago,
so
during
that
the storms
none
began.
may raise their heads above
Not
the
here,
Kalypsia
but close
families.
enough to sap most of the magic in the area, and has infected most of our people.
Structurally metaphor.
Wildlife is no exclusion.
Respectfully, I was told a long time ago by a friend that if there are people in need, I should try to help them, even if I were to fail.
I was wishing this would take place in a different town or village.
From the words of a person I had met the most, I'll do all I can to resolve this situation.
It'll be fine. At least for now.
Are all of you alchemists?
Aye.
Why?
Why what?
The sooner we get this all done, the better.
Why are you here and not there?
I don't need to listen in on the dragon giving platitudes.
What?
Fair enough.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Was, okay.
Providing an open
Fair enough.
for someone to go in and retrieve what is needed and investigate what can be, or to go themselves.
They are talking about the troubles that irk them.
They are, yes. The land is sick. The people are sick. They're dying. Blackburn is everywhere. Aetherbane is rounding up Kitsune. Times are dark for Hinodae. It is, I suppose, as you said, in a way. Not so much if, but when.
We have most of the components we'll need to contain the rest. The location is of particularly important, and we
the symbol. That's
Yes, I also noticed it. I did not want to bring attention because I assume it is something wrong. I do not understand.
Yeah, me neither. Never would have thought I would actually even be here, if I'm being perfectly honest.
I have never seen a place such as this.
It's pretty good. Well, the buildings are just as big, if not as gaudy, as the Curatrix cities, at least.
If times were not so dire... If the times were not so dire, you would see this city in resplendence. Its people happy.
Architecture.
Its streets busy.
Well, it's so early in the morning. You never know.
Even at a time such like this, you would hear the markets, the fishes.
Sometimes that is but delusion. Happiness. The true nature of a place comes boiling forth from the darkest of times.
Didn't we?
I'm not so foolish as to believe Hinodae was perfect.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
was born understanding its unjust sides.
I think I know you.
But to see a place like
I'm bad with
this,
names. I don't remember.
as if caught in twilight.
Oh, what? Stinks.
Why?
Despite the bad, there was good.
Okay.
Hi. Oh, my name is Etcha.
Nice
Fairview.
to meet you again, Etcha. I'm Cedros. You can call me Ced.
Oh, Ted. Nice. I've been asleep for a bit. I just kind of like woke up and groggily walked toward a like shiny thing, and I ended up, I think, somewhere in the sewers. It was really cool. Yeah.
Less so that I need the physical body and more so just its soul, which I do have.
No, I don't think we are.
What is it that you need from
Oh,
me?
it's a card. I thought that would look like a statue. It looks so cool.
Like I said, just a quiet place. And
Probably the farthest you're allowed to go is over there. Probably this is the other side for now.
Oh, and
Because I don't think the guards
mages
themselves
of
have got
steady
official
mind
word on
control.
us yet.
But I'm sure we could source that from our own people.
The ones around us right now are not guards. They are samurai.
Well, as I said, the particulars I still need to work out in practice.
They're not still technically guards as well, though.
The location would be of use.
They had spent a lifetime earning that
Other than
title.
that, I
Please
have all
respect
the
it.
Magical components. There are
Sorry.
spiritual offerings to be collected. I'm not sure on exactly the particulars, but I assume that won't be terribly difficult to.
If you find that they are, you may request aid. And as I said, the guards can show you to the shrine. I am happy to linger should there be any questions.
Very fluffy.
don't find any enjoyment in having us all stand and stare at each other in a room.
Has it been made clear to you how we managed to come here?
Would you like to give me a little
You have so many teeth.
Yes.
Oh, you talk with them all.
Yes. This is my mouth.
Oh, it's so cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
It allows them to live freely within the walls that they're leaving.
I wish I had teeth like that.
That ritual I don't
I do not recommend it.
opened a way. It was not the first time they've done so. They were unable
I'll take your word for it.
Currently, they are also fighting Ether.
Please do not put your hand there while I am speaking. I may accidentally bite.
I feel there was no point to stand around and listen to the dragon going on and on about nonsense. I care not for the nature of the ritual. The state of things here was...
It's fared far worse than even I expected.
It has. There were days when the head of the clan, should she have walked the streets and made such an appearance, especially with so many strangers, there would have been many more samurai present, as well as royal guards, others. But a handful now. Makes me wonder how many have succumbed to Blackburn. I see not a single kitsune among them, which means, well, perhaps they're staying low to ground, all things considered.
It would be wise to do so. Certainly a sorry state, indeed.
That it is. That it is.
Have you thought any further on your actions here?
I'm still considering them. What exactly could be done, should be done. They're in a state of weakness. I'm not sure it could be turned around. There's something the bard had said that troubled me. I'm still considering it.
Well, you should make your considerations swiftly, before the opportunity vanishes before you.
I should. At the very least, I may have to put some things into motion. Holly. Anything interesting there? Or are they still just going on about... It's a little thing. Supposedly he's going to arrange an opportunity. I guess he's friendly with her. Opportunity for me to speak with her. I'll try. We'll see how that goes.
I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you intend to do do with that opportunity?
Judge her. I suppose that may decide my considerations and actions going forward.
Do you know how swiftly the bard is able to arrange such?
I'm unsure. We'll see. If he cannot, I think I've seen enough. A stronger hand might be necessary. I think in dark times people would be more accepting of certain possibilities.
Most definitely, people become much more agreeable when they become desperate.
They do.
Akane,
Yes.
how is your ability to control your mana?
I am a seasoned samurai. I can focus it if I must.
Would you be willing to help out with the ritual for
Pardon the
creating the artifact
interruption.
copies?
Yes.
But there is a matter that is needing immediate attention. The fact that there is a fugitive within these walls. We recognize you, and you have evaded the law for too long. You ought to come with us.
Are you sure you're not mistaken?
Not at all. We know you, we know your family, and we know what you have done.
I've done nothing.
Says a former prisoner who was released under most unusual circumstances.
Blood and the sins of our
Have an
parents
explanation
carry a lot of weight
for
here.
this
Be careful.
circumstance.
I was unjustly arrested. I committed no crime.
You can make your case, but until then, you ought to come with us. This is not for debate.
I work for Malin Kazuya.
And surely she is aware of the rule of law as much as anyone else. You two, with them.
Akane, can you please drop off these bones to Johan so they can complete the ritual without me?
Very well. I will see to it.
Thank you. He has the notes I copied down. Alright.
Lead the way. I must make the Empress aware.
We know not what controversy that is, but a few of us will be going to the shrine in order to evaluate it. If you wish to accompany us, then we'll be leaving soon, but it's not necessary by any sense of the imagination.
I shall do so.
Exclude people unintentionally.
I think I would rather do that than sit around idly here. I'll go hand off these bones. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. But as you said,
Yes, well,
do you believe you'll be able to arrange the conversation you need to have?
it rather depends on your course of action following your own.
Of course, I understand.
Do let me know once you've made up your mind.
I shall do so. I have an idea of something. Oh,
Okay.
I just don't want to exclude people by omission.
No, her ritual is the duplication. It's not that
before
far.
being
She's doing
arrested,
what
the
she's-
worm gave me these to give to you.
The one that she's doing.
Not doing it. She was led away.
They're the bones for the ritual.
Oh, like
Was
in a
did
bag?
she
Got arrested, okay.
It didn't seem like it
Wait,
was in a
what?
good way. She passed off the responsibility.
Elfe was arrested.
What did she do?
Why? She is a criminal.
Wait, what?
She and her family are a problem in Hinodae. She was in prison. She escaped. Came to the Kalypsia. She is a wanted and known criminal. Practitioner and possessor of dark magics. Dangerous.
Yeah, the guards seem high
And I
tension.
wouldn't
I
be
would
as
probably avoid it for
stoppable
now.
coffee.
Uh-huh.
She should have known this would happen when she came here.
I got a quick one.
Why didn't she hide her face?
Because she's a fool. And she believes that... Why did I bother coming back? What a mistake. It would have been better staying away. Never seeing this place again. Not being tempted. Not caring. I still don't. How do you find yourself, all things considered?
I find it difficult. Especially given the Empress's arrival here.
Yes. I'm not surprised. However, I do find it telling that she made an appearance with so few samurai at her beck and call. Unless if she is trying to avoid drawing too much attention to herself.
I knew plenty of the samurai with her. She would be safe, even with such few numbers.
Perhaps so. Perhaps so.
I could not see their faces, but I know. I could hear the disgust.
I understand. I suppose in some ways I am privileged, and that if I walk around with the color of my hair and fur shown to all, most will simply get out of my way, avoid me, view me as an ill omen. Perhaps a whispered word here or there. Still. Did you hear of anything that befell the dragon that was apprehended, Aelfe?
I did not, no.
I see.
I have yet to wander very far. I cannot bring myself to pass the Torii gates.
I understand.
If I tried to pass towards the palace, I believe the samurai would cut me down themselves. And I dare not travel towards the...
Perhaps so.
The priestesses would not want to see me either.
If you would wish to traverse the Kotori gates, there is always the Sky Bridge.
It is less about how I get to the locations, but my proximity.
I understand.
already dishonor Hinodae being here.
Perhaps so. Over time, I feel Hinodae has done much of that to itself. But I speak from certain perspectives, I believe. That of myself and my clan.
I am not foolish enough to believe that Hinodae is without its poorer sides. I was born into the depths of this place. My mother and father abandoned me to die on the streets. I raised myself until the Kazuya clan found me.
Well, that's certainly a start. I find that reassuring myself. Though I grew up amongst those who were destined to be advisors or samurai and did have, well, the advantages of effectively being landowners and lords, nobility, there is a certain shame we bore that commanded our loyalty and service over thousands of years. I
am learned enough to know that.
Yes. Regardless, I do find myself ill at ease, though I suppose it will be even more so if I do not seek out a meeting with the Empress. If the Bard can truly arrange it.
I find it confusing how he knows her.
I would do him a disservice if I gave away his secrets. But he is more influential than a simple clown would seem.
He hinted as such in our conversations, but I did not know it was with such sway.
I believe they are old friends. He spent some time here. That's where he gets the sword he carries. A gift, I believe.
He must have worn different garb.
He does look something like an idiot, yes. I've tried to get him to change it. To little avail.
To think maybe at some point we had passed by each other, not knowing each other's existence.
Such is the way of things, yes? I know for a long
On
time.
a foggy road, a pauper and a prince can pass by, not knowing the other.
Well put. I never spent much time here. When I did, it was amongst others. Similar to myself. Armored, usually. Masked. The streets would practically part for us. Stay out of our ways. Dark fur, dark omens. Still, there are elements of it that I do miss. I mostly miss my home in the west, on the border, by the sea. But that's long lost, I think. It's likely been relanded at this point, passed on to some other house.
My own home in the outer courts is probably now in the hands of another.
It's not exactly the greatest thought, is it? Knowing that your home is no longer yours.
But despite it all, we still fight for the hope that Hinodae can become better.
That is a way of looking at it. Tell me, what do you know of the North and the Howling Abyss?
I know some, but I am no expert.
I believe there are more threats to Hinodae currently than just Aetherbane, the Monostorms, instability, the attack on the Spirit Realm. I have reason to believe, by things that have been passed to me, that it may soon face a far greater threat.
Part of me wondered if this would be the last time I saw Hinodae. But if there is a greater threat, then it will be a threat that I will gladly die to make sure does not pass.
I can empathize with that sense of duty. I have often as of late been considering similar regarding oaths I took some time ago. It's always a question of how important is it to truly fulfill them. A word is everything.
Sometimes the oath itself is not what matters. It is the belief and hope in what those meant.
Yes, I think so.
I find it funny, in a sense, seeing Hinodae like this. When I was samurai, I was known to those in the outer courts and some on the streets as Yugure, Twilight. Though I think it was just for my feathers. To come back and see Hinodae and Yugure as well. Not itself, neither night nor morning.
There is a certain strangeness to it in a way. The more I consider certain things here as far as that predicament. Given my own heritage and history, there's it's difficult to explain. I'm still sorting through it, but the last Twilight I remember reading of, the most notorious one, of course, was one more in old Kitsune history or mythology, whatever you wish to call it. We're not even sure if it was ever truly true. But
I knew the name they had given me was an insult at first. my feathers and your fur.
Stray farther from the sun, yes. Still, suiting. I think there's... a certain nobility to it. In a way. Besides, when a place is faltering in the dark, is it not those that know the dark best that can help lead others through it?
I just hope for a day that Hinodae requires the dark no more.
Perhaps. I feel in some ways it's inescapable. It's become a cycle. But perhaps it will be better soon.
Then... maybe a day where Yugure may never fall again.
That is fair. Orpheus? Did they make for the shrine? I have not. I should go and seek her out if I can. I need to find the bard.
Do you have time to talk first?
Yes, of course. Excuse me. Thank you for the conversation. Please. What?
Last I saw of the bard, he is up quite a distance around the wall with Holly. Before that, he was talking with Maylin.
Let's see.
We're talking about you.
Were they?
Look what I found.
Well, isn't that suiting for you?
Yes, it is heavy. Where is Mitt?
Last I saw...
If you follow this area, he is on one of the cliffs between the bridges.
Hmm.
If you go on that bridge, you'll see him.
Good luck. What was said, if you do not mind my asking? Or is it better if I do not know?
You are walking into a meeting, woefully unprepared if you do.
Is that so?
From what I can tell, he told her everything.
Everything.
I did not stick around long. I'm sure the Empress has eyes on her.
As far as my intentions, what I am torn by.
He talked about why he was getting close to you. And he talked about his plan.
His plan?
To move you to their side.
It's not about sides.
Regardless, the way he was speaking, made you sound like a pawn in a game. I will admit, I don't know what you've told him.
More than I should have.
Whatever you have, assume it's been told to her.
I will keep that in mind.
And know that if you were looking to get a read on her, that is now impossible because she is going to be nice to you. To try and win you over.
once more back to the subtle manipulations of my kind.
Regardless, that is why I was trying to find you quickly. Though it is hard to move around here.
I imagine considering their relationship with the sun, they do certainly allow it access to everything.
There was also something else he mentioned that confused me a little bit.
What was that?
He said you might get in trouble if people see you without your shadow.
That is curious. I had not considered this. Thank you.
If you'd like, I can mimic for you. It is a pretty good disguise regardless. Though I suspect I'm also known about. So perhaps hiding in plain sight might not work as well as we think.
Likely so. I would not worry about it too much. Most people seem to be giving me quite a bit of room. Considering I did not bother hiding the color of my fur. I would prefer they know. They'll steer clear. Stay out of my way. At least that's how it was when I was here before. When the rest of the clan would arrive. Though we were in full armor then. There were plenty of us too. And I suppose that in itself, it's a little more intimidating.
There's still plenty of you now.
One fox. What do you mean?
There are two of us.
And
almost all of these people are in dire straits, to say the least.
True. Did the bard suggest she be nice to me, or was that her decision?
That was around the time I thought I saw movement, so I was moving. But it sounded like he was suggesting that she be nice. But it also sounded like she already planned on doing so.
What in a way is even the point, right? The last member of a useless clan was just out for revenge. They could kill me and cast me out in the ocean, I'd be forgotten.
But you would never be forgotten. Not as long as I live.
You do live an especially long time. Longer still than any of us.
I tried to remember most of my casters, though there are a lot of them.
After time, do those memories have a tendency to fade? I imagine they do, like most things.
I came up with an idea relatively early on. Similar to how people write diaries. I pick memories I play them in my head repeatedly until they stick. If I find a new memory more fond, I will replace an old one.
Huh. It's a curious way to go about it, but it makes sense.
You will see what I mean eventually.
I suppose so, given the nature of the scroll, and what I assume is your intent. Do you know if they... I assume they already left for the shrine. That business is taken care of.
Ah, the ritual, yes. I was going to take your place, but... Unless you mean the actual shrine visit. I don't know. I've been following Lord Faven.
I see. The actual visit is what I meant. I should go speak to the bard and pretend
I've not heard any news.
I see.
Again, he's by the back wall.
Alright.
Lest he's moved.
I'll try to find him. See if perhaps he has set up this meeting that I know nothing about.
For now, I will not be far. I do not like how they're setting this up.
Neither do I.
Like an ambush.
It does. Oh, just a moment. Well, I'll try and find him.
If you need directions, you can just ask.
Very well. I imagine I know where. Was he on the outside of the wall, or along the inside?
Inside, if you see the giant tower there, he's at the base on that balcony.
By the old gates.
Oh, never mind.
And there he is now. Simple enough. By the old coin house. Yeah.
There's a kitsune in there who was attacked by a no kitsune.
What?
There's a kitsune in there who was attacked about a day ago by a masked, black-tailed kitsune.
Yeah.
I see.
Obviously, we know that you can't have been anywhere close to it, but a masked figure, and she was accosted, and those close to her slain. I figured it prudent to warn you before you inadvertently wandered close.
Thank you.
Is there news?
Appreciate you with that. Thank you for the news.
There was a kitsune attacked. She arrived here after about a day of travel. She was found by some who were heading out to the shrine. That's the only news, really. Etherbane used one of them to open a portal, and about 8 went through. They didn't return, and the place was razed.
One of the kitsune that was
No, they
captured.
did return, right?
Oh, they did return. I may have misinterpreted.
Okay, maybe. I understood when they returned, they burned it to the ground.
but you know.
So the shrine that we just went to is...
No, not that one. Not that one.
No,
A different one.
this was a
different way.
A different one?
further
Okay,
north.
okay.
Excuse me. I'm likely to cause a problem. Pardon, both of you. Am I correct in hearing that... Was it one of you that was attacked? Or one close to you?
Not either of us. But I did hear news of someone being attacked.
And is that true? I heard they were... No kitsune?
Sorry, could you rephrase your question?
Of course. From what I heard from the others, it was a no kitsune that attacked them.
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Has that been happening more frequently? Or is this...
Well, it went from not happening to happening, so I suppose yes.
Good enough. Do you have any idea what clan they might have been from?
No, unfortunately not. There might be someone in town that has some more knowledge of it, though.
I see. Thank you. I will not take up any more of your time. Safe travels.
And yourself.
Rarely see one with hair that dark.
This place does not deserve the sun.
Take them out if you...
It's tempting. It will not solve anything. But the temptation is surely there. I'd like to learn about the one that attacked them, though. Not... or... was behind the attack.
I'll do some digging tonight.
Please. They wore a mask. Unsurprisingly.
I would do if I was going to kill someone.
It is possible that given the state of things in Hinodae and what's going on with Aetherbane, that some of the Nokitsune clans have perhaps decided to side with them. Occasionally there were talks of the possibility of rebellion. Those that spoke up were often silenced quickly. It's considered a great violation of our oath. Thank you.
Personal spots.
No,
it's
but
Yeah, it could be down there. Have you checked
I'm
down
led to
towards the
believe
docks?
That is better, thank you.
Particularly susceptible. Is this true?
No.
That's probably her.
Likely.
possibly by voice, but place around here again. Make sure that anyone knows that what happened. They're likely responsible for others having disappeared over time if this is not the first time they've done this.
Thank you. Thank you, Hibiki, for all the information.
You are most welcome.
We'll be alright here. We're gonna try to follow up on some of this.
Yes,
I heard.
take a moment to get some rest. If there's more that needs to be asked later.
Do they have any idea if they belong to a clan? Was it mentioned?
Woken up, but
No. Seems like a rather unfamiliar individual.
Get some rest.
I see. And it was just one?
One Nagatsune. And afterwards they Aetherbane attacked once they had left the city. They mentioned that there was a deal. The Nagatsune was left alone, and one of the Aetherbane had said that a deal was fulfilled or something of the sort.
With the individual, or are you speaking in a more broader sense?
Sorry, could you ask again?
Was it a deal struck with the individual? Or did it seem like it was one in a broader sense?
They didn't say anything of specific. They didn't say anything of specific.
I see.
Could be anything. I'm doubtful it is with the individual themselves. Or maybe it is. Who knows?
It is possible.
Either way, looking out for a jet black hair and tails, mask. So they seem to really think they're related to Aetherbane. Or at the very least may know something.
If you hear anything, please let me know.
Yeah.
I would be most concerned as to what it is my kindred are doing.
Of course. So were you told where the shrine was?
I was not. No. I assumed everyone had
About a
left
day's
already.
travel west of here.
I see.
Apparently it's been raised after approximately maybe 8 Aetherbane, according to Hibiki there, entered into the spirit realm.
How did they get in?
By opening a portal by using Kitsune. Hibiki wasn't strong enough or connected enough to be able to open it, so they took another one and used them.
And they took them with them?
I'm not sure.
I see. Thank you.
I assume they would have been kept. Either that or they wouldn't have survived the ritual. Knowing what we do with Aetherbane.
Likely not.
But either way, that's means we know that Aetherbane is going to be in there. For certain.
Thank you. I would also wish to have a word with you in a moment.
Of course.
I will be outside then.
Thank you for your help, as always. I say that like I'm the one that solicited it, but it is appreciated by, I'm sure, many of us.
Hibiki, was that your name?
Yes, that is I.
I do not wish to cause you distress.
You are not them.
No.
Your voice is not recognizable.
I am one of them, but I am not them.
She's with us. She's
So long
been
as you
with
have
us
no
for
connection to that one.
As far as I know. I am curious if they were acting alone, and if you have any information that might suggest that is the case.
They are the only one that I recall seeing. There was no other among their number, either at the shrine where we were taken or when we were led off by them, and when those Aetherbane soldiers had taken my sister and I.
And there was mention of some manner of deal that was fulfilled.
That seemed to be... The soldiers seemed to have no interest in the masked one. All that one had said was something along the lines of, and with that, our deal is fulfilled and was allowed to go free. The soldiers just took the two of us out to the shrine. We weren't the only ones there, but at the time it was just the two of us until we had arrived. But that individual was nowhere to be seen at the shrine itself.
I see. I know there is not much stock to be put in such, and that many rumors wander around upon lips of Nogitsune and what they are up to. But I'm curious if there have been an increase in such stories as of late.
None that immediately come to mind that would be at all relevant to anything like what that one had done. There have been others that had disappeared prior to this point, and it's quite likely that they may have been responsible for their disappearing as well, but any of those who had disappeared, none of them had come back, save for I, so there's no telling if there had been others that were led off in a similar fashion.
It is a possibility. There are many who hold grudges.
They had spoken of wanting to make a pilgrimage to the shrine that I helped caretake for, and despite their background and despite who they were, I've never been in the habit of turning anyone away for any reason. So I did as I had always done. I was not aware that there was going to be any form of ambush as soon as we left the walls of the city. Never would I have dreamed that anyone, even another one of similar kin to us, would willingly work with people that are such monstrous beings.
I can think of reasons that the murmurs of such happen occasionally, but there are plenty that are still loyal, or were at least when I was here left. Perhaps it is your compassion and consideration for others that is why you still draw breath. I thank you for the fact that you did not let such things color your considerations for this individual, and it is unfortunate that they treated you so.
I would not change my beliefs even in spite of that, but if I were to lay eyes upon them with that mask again, for the reason that I may not see my sister again, I do not think that compassion will last. For it is undeserving of them.
Yes. Still. As a Nogitsune myself, I thank you. I am curious though. Could you describe their mask, if you thought on it, as unpleasant a thought it might be?
It is hazy, but I can try my best. It was mostly a rather standard mask that our kind wear. It's primarily black and red in color. But the standard, normal kitsune mask shape, the typical fox.
Nothing too special then.
Nothing that made it more unique than the other, just that they deemed to wear it even amongst others. They never once removed it in the company of anyone, while I was at least around them.
That is a tradition I myself have only recently broken of. I can understand why they might. Thank you. I will not trouble you any longer. I appreciate your willingness to speak with me.
You do not look like you are here to return me to their clutches, so at this point I would rather trust anybody that is seeking information against those people.
I would have no such aims. I simply wish to know what has been going on in the time I've been away, especially now that I hear these things. Thank you.
I do not wish to dishonor such a place. But
Akane, we're going to the hot springs in a bit. Like that way, if you're interested.
Like across the bridge and then to your left,
I might.
like all the way down, there will be
The last
stairs
time I
going
went
up,
was
there will
60
be
years
the building
ago.
right in front of the top of the stairs.
Oh, goodness. Everything alright?
Yes and no. She's the one that was attacked.
Well,
I used to like taking
listen,
my lunch into the hot springs.
Spirit Realm, fighting Aetherbane, it's gonna be a rough few days. We already had a rough few days. Why don't you come with the rest of us and de-stress in the hot springs?
Sit it beside.
I'll do that. When are you going?
And I would.
Well, I'm just gathering people now, letting people know we're gonna be going there, and probably soon. I'm not sure where anybody else is, so.
Alright.
I think if you would just went up to the hot springs.
And then when cooling off, I would enjoy the cooked eggs.
It is better than what Moto got.
Yeah, let her go to steaks.
Did you have a moment to speak to our friend?
You can ask him for him. I'm sure he'll gladly give you one.
Define friend.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, okay, understood. Yes.
Did she find your proposition of a meeting amenable?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Aside from that, did something happen?
Is there a time or day that has been
Quick
given?
rundown. Me and Sid were
Not as of current.
We found Kitsune who had been running for a day.
Okay.
I hope your meeting goes well.
Thank you.
And you may find yourself out of
They
this
said
Yugure.
that they were kidnapped after leaving the city. Because
Perhaps I will.
I think it's a Daigitsune.
Or
Remember, I spoke of you too.
Jet black hair,
Thank you.
black tails, Kitsune with a mask.
please let me know if you hear
That's all.
anything.
Pilgrimage to my
Yes,
shrine.
that is all.
Very well.
They were kidnapped by Aetherbane just outside of the city. Aetherbane had attempted to use them to open the portal to the spirit realm. Didn't work with them, but they managed to find another Kitsune that it
Who
did
what?
work. And so about 8 Aetherbane walked into the
Heard
spirit
a
realm.
very hollow sound.
Almost like a chime.
Something else to note.
Not really a
Yeah.
chime.
Something else to note is
But
that
like a hollow
when
wind.
Hibiki in
Hmm.
there was
I
captured,
did not know.
the Daigitsune, so the one with black
Yeah,
tails,
can you just
they
be with me whenever you
Maybe it
can?
was nothing.
weren't
Semi
told.
important.
Gonna
And
head back
what
to the hot
happened
spring.
was-
I
Sure.
told
If
everybody
you
I
can step
could
over
find.
here just for a moment.
I
Of
can give you
course.
something of advice for the hot spring.
Bargain
Yeah.
is resolved or something.
I
Would
would suggest
The other part of the
taking
deal is
eggs
done,
with you.
and then
They can be quite
Yes.
I don't really care too much about Lord Fabian or any thing like this for that matter, but I already warned Jasper because I don't want May having to deal with trouble in her streets while we're dealing with everything else. There's a Kitsune. He's currently up the stairs. I'm sure you saw him, male, blonde hairish. He was asking about dawn elves, and specifically he was asking, do you know who they are, where are they from, and specifically he asked for Jasper Silhat as a describer and Lord Fabian's blonde hair, and if we knew their names and where they came from and all that. So just keep an eye, because there might be people who might suspect them being from at least with Lord Fabian Valinor. And, out of anyone, I'm sure you are the most aware of the situation there, so.
I might have to go have a word with them then.
Okay, well, it's up the stairs, but please don't cause any chaos, alright? That's the whole point of me telling you this.
I'll try. They already made one rude
Alright.
comment towards me.
Alright, well, fair enough.
I'll try.
Okay.
Like a ring that bends the light.
Yeah, it's that one.
They were the one asking the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
The
you.
one up there.
Yeah?
Quite alright.
This is my mate.
Oh.
Yeah. What am I looking at? A blue flower. Oh, I see. What? Yeah. What?
I'm
Good evening.
Killer. Kira.
Good evening.
Kira.
Kira.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
Either way, I won't bug you on this matter further.
Oh, okay.
You take care now.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Were you looking for something that we might be able to assist you with?
Pleasure to meet you more formally now.
Just keeping an eye out on the new folk.
Oh.
Oh, no, I see. I've heard all kinds of troublesome things as of late.
That is true. And of course, we must at least keep some eyes out on the Dawn Elves entering our city. Do you not think?
It is not a bad idea. It's been a very long time since Dawn Elves have been in Hinodae.
And quite a few seem to be boarded with your group. I believe I've counted 3. But, well, it is what it is. Such is the way of Malin Kazuya, I suppose. Especially now that she's wrested power back from Yua.
You know the way, Akane. You know the way to the hot springs.
I do. Yes.
So, you know. You do? Okay.
Thank you. And you were concerned with them being here out of interest from Malin herself, or simply your own personal concerns?
I see a Dawn elf with a small beast skin, and it makes me worried for them is all.
I see. Compassion,
Just
truly.
wanting to keep an eye. I suppose so. Worry might be more apt, but...
I suppose they just get to go wherever they want nowadays. Given our western borders are not what they once were.
No. Especially not with all of the occupation. It's why I'm looking for mercenaries to try and escort some medicine, but alas. I'm sure I'll find some soon enough. The folks from your ship, or who once were from the ship, I must admit I am curious how such a large group managed to travel over here. I imagine armed to the teeth.
Few of them go anywhere without their weapons, yes. We sometimes run across many dangers on the road.
I see. Well, if you do know any of them to be open for work, I am looking to hire mercenaries for the next month or so.
And it's for the delivering of medicine. Is this to deal with Blackburn or something else?
There is a concern rising of plague and whatnot, and that's got people on edge.
Plague. As if we didn't have enough problems.
Well, as far as I'm aware, there is none, but you hear Blackburn, and you immediately think to stockpile on medicine. It's quite the opportunity to try and export some over.
I
Sell
understand.
off, punch in bulk. The alchemists here are currently wrought with trying to do with Blackburn that they don't have much coin, I'm afraid. So, Rivendell will have to be the next best bet. If not, maybe south, but we'll determine that with time.
I'm sure there might be some amongst our number that would be interested to assist. Even those that might view it as a opportunity to do good for the local population.
Well, perhaps if they wish to take it as such, that is always good. If you do find any of them, though, feel free to send them over to the market. One of those buildings, of course, is mine, so...
Very well. I will keep that in mind.
Either way, do keep an eye out for the wild folk among your numbers, not to be led off into the night by some... Well, I'll say no more. He has been vouched for.
I think there's no need to worry about that with those that travel in our ilk. But if Valinor is this far in, that certainly means there are other problems.
That there is. But I suppose the other problems must be dealt with first. And we will see if Meilin Kazuya is up to the task.
It seems there's quite a bit of doubt surrounding her ability to do so.
I mean, she's gone for so long. Yua takes her place, and suddenly she's back, and Blackburn, and organized assaults, and plagued animals. How could you not show some concern, right?
Yes. She returns, the sun sets on Hinodae.
But either way, I do want to make a few more rounds. Get my name out there and whatnot, and see if anyone's looking for work, though I've been shrugged off quite a bit by your group, so we'll see how well that goes.
I will
But do
ask.
tell them I am paying well.
Of course. If one Satori Akane asks for you, That will be me bringing news.
For Akane. Well, very well. No. Well, nonetheless, I am needed elsewhere.
Good luck.
Have a good evening.
Foot cramp. Oh god, that's awful. That's why I'm not wearing the shoes. Have you seen my shoes? They're terrible. They narrow the foot, the heels.
To be fair, I don't really know how shoes work.
They were somewhat for show, posture, other things. And some people like, never mind.
Yes, muscles, bone, very important.
I knew you would empathize. Not at all. The Bard had no time for the meeting, as far as when to expect it to happen.
I know, I'm still shadowing you.
And oh.
He was staring at you for a while.
Was I?
I suppose this could be called perks of having eyes in the back of your head.
Indeed. I suppose I'm going to have to deal with all kinds of whispers at the moment as those stories begin to pass around. Good thing I did not opt for my mask.
That much is true. Though your mask does not match the description, so...
It does not. Fortunate for me. Just a little less featured, I guess. I think I'll do a quick walk around and then maybe join them for a moment at the springs. Pretend to be social.
Hey. Everything alright?
It's fine. I was simply talking.
Orpheus with you.
Say no.
No.
I could hear him. Barely. If you want to be left alone, I'll leave you alone. That's all.
It's quite alright. I was just finishing my business here. Is there something that's happened?
No, not at the moment. I'm just not a big fan of the hot springs, so I'm... Yeah.
The ones here are rather
Just
nice.
walking around.
Just so you know. But I understand.
Yeah, it's more of a religious thing.
I see. I will not pry.
Sorry, I'll leave you two. Seem to be.
No trouble. No Kitsune making deals with Aetherbane is not a good side. But I was concerned that might have been the case when they first started talking about some of the abductions and other things.
No Kitsune openly attacking people again is also not a good sign.
No, it's not.
I'll do some digging tonight. See what I've done.
Please.
Everything.
This may give me an angle to play with, Malin. Perhaps. I've been considering something. And I wonder if it is the bard's aim, and part of the reason he was trying to get close to Faven. I'm not entirely convinced Hinodae can stand on its own. Especially if the threat to its north is as great as they seem to indicate. If the clans there are truly having a hard time keeping things back, and Hinodae is already in disarray and unstable due to the things that have been happening thus far, then a seemingly limitless army of undead from the north would certainly cause it to falter and fall. It would be...
If only we knew of some sort of resource that could stop mana flow. If we figure out how Aetherpain makes that.
How fortuitous, if so. Could come in handy.
There is always the noble sacrifice option.
Huh.
We do have the tools to make a mana storm.
We do.
I'm sure there's an old kitsune with a similar idea to that general of yours. Fight till you die for your country.
I'm sure there's several. Many.
And I'm sure they'd be willing to do that.
They would. I did keep the hourglass for a reason, just in case. Then I don't want anyone else to have it.
I actually was thinking a bit earlier.
Oh.
Kitsune tail. Are they connected to your mana? Is that how they give you power?
There's some belief in that, yes. More tails means more power, wisdom, practice. Oh, cunning. Sorry.
Very cunning of you.
I know, wasn't
really
it?
showed off.
Very quick. It was we call that a wave dash. Anyway.
Regarding such. If there is truth to that, perhaps we do not need to look for seven-tailed kitsune.
Maybe. Maybe.
I've been getting inspired by Aina.
Oh.
I suspect this might work solely because of your nature. But I could potentially assist you. Similar to a tail.
Huh.
Then we don't need to look for this seven-tailed kitsune.
There's merit in this. You think?
The world is vast and unexplored.
Point. Perhaps we should bring this before Mia. I could talk to her about such.
Oh, also talk to Aina, see if they connect their mana some way.
Very well. Thank you. I'll think on this. Okay. I don't want to go there yet. These markets would have once been full of so much life. Would have walked through and they would have walked out of my way. Some rushing to do so. To the springs. I should do my best to try and be social, even if I do not feel like talking to anyone. No sign of Mia either.
Somebody that you thought seemed like myself? What was the location again?
Unfortunate. It seems that is broken. What a shame. Guess I have my sword.
Best of luck to those going, I suppose. I can't fight, so. Or do magic. Can't help. I could throw bottles of acid at things.
What?
Or I'll die!
Huh? Oh!
No. Drowning is prohibited.
Thanks for the reminder, Sprout.
Thanks for the reminder. Drowning is bad.
Who gave
Drowning
you
is
that?
bad.
I wouldn't know.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the scientist said it. No, you're okay. My arm is hurting just a little bit. It's fine. I don't know what it means.
I apologize.
Yes.
Prohibited means not allowed.
Prohibited.
Oh, it is a rule. Okay.
Yes.
Prohibited.
Alright, we're even.
We follow.
Prohibited.
Uh-oh.
Prohibited.
This is definitely the right side of things to be sitting on. They're having an ongoing splash fight over there.
I noticed.
Oh, you think you're safe? You think you're
That's
safe?
not what I said.
This is definitely the way the hot springs are meant to be enjoyed.
I don't think so. I think they're meant to
Was
be
it hard
more
to find
enjoyed
it?
just
Yes.
relaxing
Jackson
in
was
them,
very
sitting in them,
scared.
you know,
No, it's silly.
Yes,
That
that's
sounds
great.
silly.
enjoying the heat, watching as my my hands.
Did you prefer relaxing or splashing? We've done both so far.
I think both is pretty good.
I forgive you.
Agreed.
Betrayal was fucking.
Oh, Deco.
Akane, do you want a
Huh?
hot springs egg? I bought a bunch of them from the front desk of the hot springs.
I will pass. Thank you.
Hey. Yeah.
I might have bought too many.
It is
I really
very
might have bought too many.
I don't know.
It's okay.
I haven't seen it.
Yes,
I bought
rock.
like a dozen.
Okay,
Oh yeah,
okay.
that.
Very disappointing to us all, I'm sure. I also haven't checked, to be fair, but
I can sense it. There's only
I don't
stone.
know. Okay, you know what? Only because it disturbed Leto. Sorry,
Huh?
I'll make it
Only because it disturbs Leto. That's fine.
Excuse me.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
Oh.
guys, there actually is
That's-
something back there.
There's no way.
No, there's not.
He is lying.
Okay.
Okay. Doctor, come here. No, I don't think I will. Come. Think I'll stay
Oh,
safe.
well then no egg for you then.
What?
He already started in one. Oh no, that was Akane.
I bought a dozen hot spring eggs and I gave out like 5 of them.
Hot spring
I was
eggs?
kidding. I was kidding.
Yes,
Is
they're eggs
everything
that you
alright
cook in
with the
hot
kitchen?
spring.
What?
He got gaslit by someone into believing that.
Well enough.
Oh, it's so.
They were more forthcoming than I expected.
I can make some lights for you if you need them.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'm sure. There's the light over there.
Do you like the moon?
Though I've certainly caught some strange
I knew this was coming when the wings
looks,
came up, and yet I was
but
not
that was
prepared.
expected.
You like the moon?
It's so pretty here. Wow.
I kind of feel bad for them.
Don't get to see it often.
It's nice.
You know, you'd think it would be mostly the same all over the world.
I might have
Pretty nice.
something of an idea, or rather it was an idea
So
Orpheus
Barney
had,
told me once
regarding the
that you need to
ritual.
say hello and goodbye to the
If we
moon.
cannot find
I don't know why.
one with 7 tails, whom we can
Because
use.
it is nice.
Man,
Because it makes the dark
She
less
offered.
dark.
Hmm.
That is true. So maybe that's because of it. Yeah, that makes sense.
There's a shade.
I should have known she
So
would.
maybe we should do that. Yeah. We should
Still.
say hello and goodbye to the moon.
If
not
there-
surprising, though, I will admit that the prospect of centering a ritual around the Empress of a civilization is daunting.
Very.
So,
People are, I suppose, at risk.
What is that?
It seems she is particularly struggling with the opinion of her people. So I could see why she might take that additional
You know what,
measure.
That is a very large bird.
It's also possible
I think it is quite adorable.
that we're unsure. Should we find ourselves in need, just in case, if something goes wrong? That perhaps the connection between a shade and a kitsune might allow them to both be used in a way that may make up for such.
what the hell does a big bird? What?
There are undoubtedly optimizations and modifications to the ritual that could be done to make these things easier. I can't imagine that they would be difficult. I mean,
If you don't want to tell me, that's okay.
difficulty being relative, of course. I think that they would be possible, but
Wants to know.
What?
the question of timing is the primary issue. Making changes is time-consuming, and time is the one thing we don't have in over much abundance.
Do you want me to know?
Wow, that's entirely called for you, honestly.
Of course. We are rather pressed
It's
for
an
it.
interesting
I'm in a crossfire.
Crow. I know.
I figured I would
With my clothes.
present it to you just in case.
Do you
After all, we never know when we may
feel
need such a
comfortable
thing.
sharing with Toffee that information?
Yeah, Crow kept giving me twigs.
Like, multiple. It wasn't like a crow shows up with a pile
The
of
fat
sticks.
bird's back.
Oh, watch out, Daku. It's
No.
coming for you.
No.
It is
Oh,
always
that's Jasper.
lovely.
I thought like some
What?
evil wizard was walking up with his purple. Daku, I don't know if I can save you from this.
Oh my god. You want to eat him? What? It does not like him. What the hell?
Oh
my god. Oh.
There's no way.
You killed it?
I just choose monster.
We can eat it.
You
Oh my
monster.
gosh.
I'm so sorry.
I see.
We don't eat it?
Sure.
Do not eat it.
I'm just going to put it off to the side.
I let you get away before too much.
Look, it's not my fucking responsibility.
Maybe we have its eggs.
I'm so sorry.
Seeking revenge.
I get it.
Then why did it attack Daku? Would have went for me. I don't know.
Thank you for coming to see me.
Yes.
He's going to pull out a cherry blossom flower and sake in a gourd.
Ah. How considerate.
That is for you. That is apparently a gift of Sakura sake.
Appropriate this time of year.
I just came to give those. Hope you enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
Of course. No, I have Miyamoto waiting for me at the entrance. I do not wish to leave him behind. But before I go, I don't know. I may not be the first, but to the very least, I can say it now. And welcome home.
Thank you. It's been giving me a lot to think on.
That is not nice.
Thank you, Holly.
Oh my god, I see the bottle. Here you go.
Nice.
Give what? Give what you want.
Fucking throw it at him.
I think there was a bottle floating around for a hot minute. I just need to throw it at him.
Hey, that's not food.
No,
I'm
it's not,
out of
it's not.
everything. I'm not food.
You have wings though. Yeah, we were talking about you should fly. You should fly. You should
Alvin
fly.
has wings. Is he food?
Yes.
Oh, what? Okay, well, no, I'm not
Finch's
food,
wings?
thank you.
Is he food?
No.
But, wait, I'm not food, Sprout.
I mean, I'm quite the meal, but like, I'm not.
But
food.
you are a bird, and you eat birds. Not food.
I'm not a bird. I'm a person. You don't eat.
Coffee
You
is
don't eat
food.
people. Don't eat people. Wait.
I
you
am
eat
food?
Coffee.
Wait, look,
Everyone
I'm
is
food? Yes. Ah. I guess you could eat people if you really wanted to.
You shouldn't do
But you
that
don't.
though. You should.
You
Really
shouldn't.
Am I food, Sprout?
Is this Sprout? No.
People severely frowned upon.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm not an animal.
I feel at a terrible loss.
Understood.
That's why.
Understood.
Having a good time on it.
How much of one was
you're
it?
an animal from a manner of speaking.
Okay, well,
That's good.
You know, you saved it,
Water
sort
is
of.
at least
It was
nice.
about this.
Well, you're more of an animal than I, certainly.
Well, yeah, but still, I'm not food. I'm a person. I'm not an animal.
Hello? You okay?
Wow,
Such a
I'm
shame.
surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised
Oh,
you didn't feel that.
What? Not for me. Not for me.
Right. I mean,
I can keep it.
you are a closer cousin to
Oh,
an actual bird than
Yeah,
I am
feather.
to
That's
you.
what we're saying here. You can do an after effect of saying ow.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't feel great. Don't do that.
You know, it
You're
is.
drowning. Spread out.
Sprout didn't mean that.
You can keep it, but don't touch my wings again. That doesn't feel good.
Okay.
I forgive you this one, Sprout.
I forgive you.
You take a feather again. I don't know if I'll be so
I
forgiving.
won't get any more grapes.
Yeah, it's true. People that take my feathers don't get grapes.
Also, did that hurt? You owe me 5.
I'll keep that in
Does
mind.
he? Why does he owe you 5, Sprout?
He has 5
Bro,
sticks.
what if I just buy you a pound of grapes instead of half?
Yes.
Sprout, I will give you a whole bunch of grapes if you splash Leto right now.
Don't do that.
Well,
Hang on, before you do that,
well, that's good.
do you have the grapes now?
She is such an accomplished businesswoman.
No, but neither did Leto. Okay, so this is like future grapes. And you know, when you think about it, future
want my
many
egg?
grapes is more than future 5 grapes.
Well, Toffee.
I did not expect to be talking about grapeonomics tonight. If you're
Well, I'll get you.
Never.
He doesn't have the grapes
Here.
right now, you know, and
Because we were friends.
so who knows if he'll
And
actually
so
get
her
you the
friends.
grapes.
I think that Sprout will find a way to obtain the grapes from him. if they're promised.
I'll never hurt
Nope.
my friend.
Goodbye,
Oh,
Sprout.
Sprout?
I mean,
I guess I keep my egg. My egg.
She. Okay.
Your egg?
Take his egg.
Yeah, my egg.
just eat it. Why
Wait,
do you
do
still
you
have
lay
that? It's
eggs?
gonna get over.
Cause it's cooking.
Actually,
do you
I
lay
think we have the
eggs?
great
Cooking
fish.
here? Is that a thing? They're cooked. You actually cooking eggs in this box?
Leto! I have a very important question.
What?
Do you lay eggs?
No. What the fuck?
Why do you have an egg?
No, I don't. No, cause Finch bought eggs.
Yeah, Leto, that's kind of weird. Why do you have an egg, Leto?
Oh, okay.
Access the muscles.
I thought for a minute you were chicken or something, but you're fine. You're solid chicken.
She is.
Alright. What?
I need, I need to get this egg out of the shell, so I just,
No! Don't! Kira, it's fine. It's fine. Friends don't hurt friends. It's just for fun.
Yeah, I'm just cracking an egg.
Yeah, Kira, please don't kill him, okay? It would be really
please don't
terrible.
do that. That'd be really horrible. That might be the worst thing you could ever do.
Like ever?
That's certainly not.
Kill me. What?
The worst thing for you, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe for you, but...
That's true.
I think ethically killing me is pretty, not cool.
I would agree with that one.
You don't know if it is cool or not.
It's not. No, I know. No, I'm pretty sure that killing me isn't cool.
Well, you don't
know who would
that.
want to
Maybe
kill me?
people...
Aetherbane. And Aetherbane are not cool. So, just saying.
Yeah, but maybe there is cool people around and be like, oh my god, I killed Leto, and they're like, oh my god, you're cool.
No, I don't.
That's a good point,
I don't think
Dolphy.
that's true at all. I don't think that'll ever happen. I think that's pretty fucked up,
What
actually.
if he was killed by ice?
You don't know that.
It would be cool. Well, Leto would be cool then.
That might be true for me too. Like,
I mean, I think
oh
he's
my
gonna be
god,
cool no matter
I feel
what.
so
Not like for you.
toughy. I'm so cool, and they will be like, yeah, you're so cool.
I just want to say I
We
love
don't
this
know.
discussion about killing Leto and
I
being
don't think
cool or
killing
not.
you is cool either.
Well, you don't know if other people will think so.
Kira kill me.
You should do a census, Leto.
That's great.
Kira never been cool.
But now Kira is cool.
But does not imply that killing people would make you more cool, though.
Yeah,
so,
it's not
you know.
implying that.
Okay.
You know, that's kind of debatable.
Oh my god, it's a creep.
I've been here the entire time.
I didn't see him. Do you see that? There's dark over there.
Yes.
Even I can see it, and I can't see in the
I
dark.
thought it was a chair.
You're like, you have the light. Like the light is on either side.
Would you wish to share this bottle?
It's hard to see. There we go. Now I can see his arms.
A Sakura sake that was gifted to me.
Oh, normally I would accept, but unfortunately I have to have my wits about me for research tonight.
Understandable.
Welcome back.
I appreciate
On
that.
the other hand.
Leto, are you really about to
I mean,
Here's that there's liquor sold.
hey, if she's offering.
No, she offered to me.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask. I'm asking, okay?
Something is lost when you come and request it
What the fuck?
from
Oh,
someone
well.
else.
I still have the.
It is the act of offering it.
I
have to
Just-
eat these 6 eggs.
I mean, a drink is a drink. You know,
Leto,
either way.
would you care for a drink?
See, like, see the moon.
I would love a drink, Akane.
I'm just gonna push it. Oh, it's going outwards. 'Cause it's... I bought a dozen. I've given out 6.
Do you know anything about it?
Do you want to make...
Floating around in the water?
Is sake not supposed to be a sip drink?
Yes.
I tried to offer you one, and you said you didn't want it.
Somebody starved.
I see.
I wouldn't have known. I don't really drink sake.
Or
But to be fair, I
That
also
is,
chug
I
whiskey,
suspect,
so
a carrot.
and whiskey I don't usually.
To be fair too, he was among dwarves, I think.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It is
Tastes fishy to me.
Pretty good. Kind of, what's the
With
word?
heroes or gods.
It's got a floral taste to
It's
it.
not fishy. It doesn't taste fishy.
That should be the soccer.
I just don't want to take the chance after having the two
Oh.
disgusting messes of fish before.
That's the word for the cherry blossom trees that are frequent in the area. All the pink flowering trees outside.
Ah, those. We saw a lot of those on the way to the shrine.
Me too.
I love my little lilies. They're adorable to me.
Some people believe that the moon is a god. But I don't know.
Look at my little hooves. If only I could wear shoes, I would be perfect then.
Is it not like? No,
Do you believe in gods?
Never mind.
I've been told about horseshoes.
Do you know if the intention is to
By God?
conduct the ritual tomorrow?
I was going to mention it, and I'm like, you know, the problem.
As soon as it can be put together. I might need a little more time than that, but as soon as I can get it done.
Gods are
Of course.
Shoes would make walking upon the surface
that
more
can
comfortable
do
when you see.
a lot of stuff.
Again, if there's anything you need from me, please do not hesitate.
Some people serve those gods.
I think at this point it's largely a question of the mathematics and finishing touches, but if I can find anything that others can help with, I'll certainly make it known.
So some people serve them. And think that they will help them if they serve them.
Like boss.
No. I am not powerful.
Which
I'm
one
not
did you
powerful
call
at all.
Daku, by the way?
I'm just toughy. Just toughy. I'm just a person.
Very nice. Little rich for me, and it tastes high quality. That's what I mean by that. I tend to drink some pretty shitty liquor time to time, so.
You should branch out.
So he wouldn't appreciate it, is what he's saying.
Maybe we can find him.
Well, I don't tend to spend too much money on my alcohol. I tend to stay pretty.
We know.
Yeah, but now that you're offering something, expensive, he's going to try.
Performance.
You offered it to him the first time.
I guess like even the cheap dwarf
Oh.
versions, right? Is like,
Well.
Or the other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, of course it's dwarven.
That
It's
was
designed to fuck you up.
you were in front, and there was one that was
Considering how you shoved literally every single one of your tails in my face.
I find higher price points are usually
I'm
for
sorry, I
benefit
didn't
rather than
notice,
more
and they have a mind of their own.
outcomes.
Sometimes.
I'm gonna be honest. I just fucking
blend into this water very well.
I mean, it depends. Sometimes higher
Wanted
prices
to
because of the label.
this
Because
in mind
it's a
for
very
future
known
jobs.
item.
I appreciate you taking charge of the ritual
Somewhat
stuff. I mean,
terrifying.
not, I don't know the spirit realm and things like that, but I just think it's really nice of you to be putting in that effort, taking charge of it. It's admirable.
Thank you. I suppose we have few enough scholars that
Prefer the keg, a bottle would last me like
someone
a sip.
should do it.
What do you mean, like, you know?
Coffee
Yeah.
station right now.
Well, it's just the
Somebody
general-
should do it, but
usually they have whatever.
I don't think it's as common for people to always step up, so it's not a very admirable thing to be the one to do so.
If you can find it in the keg, it's good. But if you can't find it in the keg, it's some expensive garbage that you don't want to buy.
You know?
If it's only in the bottle, don't buy
I'm
it.
gonna be honest. If it's more than a few silver, someone doesn't buy it.
Yeah. To be honest, most expensive wines are just repackaged cheaper wines.
I know.
Not really a wine guy, anyways, you know.
Not to
Like
know
when we were in
this.
Rivendell, I had a nice binge, but that's mostly because, like, you know,
You just know
you have to try a bit wine, right? You know, it's just kind of how it is.
Something you really
You can get almost any kind of alcohol that you want in Rivendell. The Dusk Elves
We
make
do
trades
not.
for it with almost
Not
everyone
yet,
across
at least.
the world.
No, I know, but it is like,
Very well.
you know, you can't
be in, like, it's like not trying like dwarven ale.
Ah, I see.
Well, we'll get there.
Very well. I will find a place.
I believe in you.
I sure hope so. I don't carry coin.
It's an experience.
You know, that does actually bring up a good point.
Maybe
You
like
don't-
what?
I
Sake
suppose we
here?
could kind of stay wherever we wanted.
Is there a hotel in the city?
I would like to try it. I've heard
Sort of.
that
Has to be an inn.
Might go
There
on
has
night
to be.
shift.
There's an inn right next to here.
I mean, I don't sleep.
Oh, okay, good.
Scout around, make sure.
Yes, seems like the place I pointed out.
Seems like we could make for
Is it expensive?
a very
at all?
tiring passing of time.
Just find a roof. You'll be
Not too
okay.
expensive. Then
Like,
again,
I'm
I
not
do
fine.
just-
Like, Coffee
I
is
do not
all
tend to have
looking
You and
around.
Athena sleeping on goddamn roofs. I don't want to sleep on a roof. I've slept in trees enough in my
and
life.
Looking for stuff and just, you know,
I have never slept on a roof before. Is it comfortable?
and trying
I mean, I wouldn't know. I haven't really
before.
slept on
She's
on a
no
roof.
more.
I've slept on trees.
That can't be comfortable though, right?
No, it's pretty good.
Really? It's okay, yeah.
How? In what way?
It's not as comfortable as like a bed, but it's fine enough.
I mean, obviously. Is it like better or worse than like an alley?
I've
what?
never slept in an alley.
Better.
Why are you sleeping on trees?
I don't know.
Better? Really? You're not worried about like falling out, or do you like tie yourself down, or
We'll get
No.
there.
If you find
You
it
just kinda
somewhere where
trust
you're
it?
easy to
Don't
fall
worry.
out, then you found the wrong tree.
Coffee will help.
That's
Yeah.
true.
what does a good tree look like?
Roger. Usually, right between two branches, you're able to put something underneath you so you're not able to fall.
That's wild. People just sleeping in fucking
Trees in Asana get pretty big. Yeah.
Okay,
So
that
I had like a
makes
whole
sense.
setup. You know, it was pretty nice.
And an alleyway that usually
know
isn't much to
that
cover you other than trash,
people-
so that is quite uncomfortable.
Really like, love their family.
Should you ever get the opportunity and the ability to breathe underwater for an extended period of time, I recommend sleeping under the water. It is incredibly
But
comforting.
you know what they look like.
I have a potion for that, by the way. You know, if you want to try it.
Sleeping
I would not perhaps encourage relying on the duration of a potion to prevent you from drowning in your sleep.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess it's a good question.
You can
How
always
tall
acquire
is
some
it
form of
last?
artifact.
Holy shit, wait, really?
That would be
Yes,
more
this is how I
reliable.
breathe upon the surface.
Even though they're
Does it
little,
look both ways, or is it
and
just
even though they're grown
surface?
up right
No.
now,
God
Pretty
damn
much
Still
it
might have
converts
the same
the air
face
into
or
water for me to
something you
breathe.
will recognize.
Oh,
Technically, I cannot breathe this. This is fresh water. So I have to wear these.
The
that reminds me. Whatever Odie's thing is, I can sleep
Oh.
underwater if he lets me borrow that.
That
Oh,
would
but,
work.
but we had a discussion about this. We don't know if that'll turn into like a daku fish, or if it won't. You know, because that's the whole thing. Yeah, already has this artifact that lets him turn into like a fish or something, and we were wondering
Where
if
will
like
we be staying
it would
tonight?
turn anyone.
I can't
into a
believe
fish if
Daku
you put
turned
it
himself
on.
into a fish.
I'm just saying, like,
most
Funny shit I've ever
similar
seen.
artifacts should work on most people, but
patch of grass, and then
it would certainly be
throw an
possible to
egg at
make
you.
one that's person specific.
Yeah, maybe.
Sleep that.
That said, I mean, a device that would be powered by a relatively small amount of mana and that would allow one to breathe underwater would not be particularly complex.
I doubt it
Well,
would
there
be
you go,
just like
Dago.
a specific one cannot do this.
right, but what
That
the
I
fuck is
suspect.
turning into a fish?
Cure a job.
That I could do, but it would
When
be.
you come, yes, and you
I
sit
brought her
down
a
with
servant.
me, we'll
Building my
sleep
next
next to each
The
other
trouble with
together.
these sorts of
I'm going to be
things
heading
is
I don't even have your ears.
the lack of experience. I could do so if you wanted.
Well, I want you to look after yourself and get some sleep.
I believe that I have all the requisite runes.
I will poke my head.
I leave the
shit's expensive.
remaining 3 eggs to you.
Ooh, to
Very kind.
do rune
I will
crafting.
keep a lookout for you.
Yeah.
You keep a lookout for me.
Well,
so
that
we
depends on a
will
number of
sleep.
factors. I suppose it would not be inexpensive.
I will start
But-
guarding and finding a place.
Well,
to stay.
Okay.
strictly speaking, it would depend on your description of a fish. Should you simply want scales, that would be relatively inexpensive compared to being an actual fish that can breathe and walk
Odie has a thing
and swim.
where he turns into a full-on, like, normal fish.
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
it's
Yes,
wild.
he is small and durable in that form. He is this big.
There's a question.
Right, this would be on the
Looks
more
like a dude.
complicated end, but the majority of it is soul magic itself.
Yeah.
Does the fish bear qualities that makes them identifiable as Odie? I'm curious.
I would say
that's
that
the
it was
thing,
Apologies.
If I
Maeve,
saw it, I would say it was an Odie fish.
Maeve said she had some
I would
trouble with that, so, you know.
Are you a Tempest mage?
I am.
Do you have soul as one of your affinities?
I do?
Then you could probably simply learn how to become a fish.
There you go.
So much fucking work, though. I don't know if I care that much.
Just turn your soul
I just
into a
want to
fish.
borrow this thing and turn into a fish. That's all. I just want to borrow it once. I don't want to. I don't want to like it.
I know that's not how it works.
Fish, however.
They
Well,
need more than
I know
one.
many great fishes. You can breathe underwater.
Yes, it is.
You
The
can
discussion of what is
enjoy the
possible is not the
wonderfulness of
same as to
currents.
learn or
The
to
sea
know.
will accept you. You can
Many have a
probably
flawed
find
understanding of what
amenities
is
which are
and
quite
isn't possible,
comfortable.
what is and isn't easy.
You can visit
It's a
alternatives.
common problem.
Okay, you finally named the second one. Okay.
Fair enough. I guess I don't know
I
much
thought
about
those
soul
were all
magic.
rather
so-
strong reasons. You can also try eating with a different taste palette. You'll taste differently.
What Sprout does is soul magic.
Oh, alright. Well, there you go.
Also, you'll be able to swim for hours without drowning.
Instead of
Here.
a big thing, it can be a fish.
The rest of the sake bottle.
You can also fit into smaller
Oh.
spaces.
Okay.
Sprout may want to try it, but I don't know if he would like it.
It is poison.
Don't try it.
What? Don't try. Wait, now I'm
No,
confused.
no, no.
I might.
You can try it. Sprout
Okay.
should not.
Just no. Okay. All right.
Strictly speaking, if you're not otherwise engaged in learning something in your spare time, then
Blech.
instead use it on
Not that good.
irrelevant
I've had better.
Mm. I was curious as to your opinion. I'll finish it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You all have a good evening.
This is more akin to what would be useful in
Poison turned into a powder and then thrown into the air. I agree.
How you doing, Echo?
I agree with perfection.
Come on, get up. Don't mind me. That's a pie. Hmm?
I'm good.
No. You all good?
just kind of relaxing.
Fair, that's good. It's a nice view, and you know it's nice. It's hot, protects you from the cold. Well, have a good night. Sleep well.
Same to you.
It is a hot spring.
It sure is.
I would hope that's
Is she taller than I remember? Oh, you're standing. Okay, that makes sense. Did you say something to me? Oh, I guess she didn't. Yeah, she was looking at me. I thought she said something.
If you want, I can be taller.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening, Akane. I hope everything went alright with that other Kitsune.
It was fine.
Alright. If you need help with anything, you know.
Of course.
You tell me.
Thank you.
Alright. Have a good night.
Alright.
I think I'm gonna go for a walk before I retire.
Very well.
It's been a long time.
I'm best be off, get some sleep before ritual or whatever. Rest well, Akane.
You as well. Thank you. I wouldn't wish to draw too much closer, lest they take offense.
I've already checked to see where the guards are. They're watching, but they don't act unless you get in.
Yes. There was a time when we would come here that this was where we would stay.
I don't suppose they'll want to let you in now, will they?
I somehow do not think that would go over well. No.
sponsor is planning something.
Yes. He still has not told me.
Tabs. Specific areas of the city. Different routes.
Interesting.
He was especially interested in the other district, the one closer to the palace. The very different architecture.
I wonder if he has designs on an embassy here. A foothold for our future plans.
I suspect as much.
He said that it didn't matter who was leading. And that he was going to wait and see what I did. I suppose it doesn't.
If Valinor gets an embassy, then whoever the leader is just a puppet for them.
Yes. Likely the aim. The thing I had been considering. Several things. One is an offer that could be made, one that he may even consider himself. It would bring about exactly that, most likely. But if the undead are truly as grave a threat as the bard suggested, then it's unlikely Hinodae could stand on its own. If so, and the borders are truly so weakened, it might be possible to sell the idea to Valinor that a mutual defense between the two could be amenable. I know the elves would be more likely than not to just want to sit back and let it all fall, and then they would worry about defending themselves. But I think there's a case to be made. If it is as bad as was hinted at, they seem to think Valinor would fall as well. Not that their arrogance would have them believe such is possible.
They will use it as an opportunity.
They would.
If they move armed forces here, they will just seize more power.
They would be all theirs soon. Little left. Whoever is on the throne would be a puppet, as you said. Eventually, they wouldn't need that any longer. They would expand the term servant program further into here, I imagine. Exploit the situation.
That is what they do.
I have had another thought as well. Many no Getsune took an oath, or their ancestors had, to serve the ruling family faithfully, loyally, without question. I, of course, broke that. It seems clear others have begun to break it as well. Faith in the Kazuya is dwindling. They've likely grown tired of the false promises, of the failures, of the death. All of it the rest of us shoulder. The Satori may, for the most part, be gone. But we were one such clan with those oaths. And if these are growing fractured, in this case is more than just a single lone actor. But what if other Nuggetsune are working alongside Aetherbane or similar? What if that's one of the reasons the borders against the Howling Abyss are growing weak? Have most of them perished? Are they beginning to cease in their duty? I don't know, but it's possible that my voice might be able to carry more weight than Maylen's with them. Maybe, depending on where they stand. I'm considering new options.
Be an empress of a people who actually care for you. It's better than being empress of ones that don't.
It is. I know that they're both attempting to play me. I believe they think they have everything they need. I'm wondering if I can offer something else. Do you think it would be possible to unify the Nuggetsune?
Probably. But I don't think they'll listen to words.
I don't think so either. The Bard wishes to bring me to their side. Perhaps there's a way to use that.
Perhaps.
The people obviously already doubt Mainland. All things considered, it's easy to see why. If one such as myself could find argument to be uplifted into a position of note, some would take note. Both those of darker fur and those without. It would likely further shake confidence in her, I would imagine. But then perhaps means could be taken to garner confidence and support in other areas. Perhaps we could find a way to help bring some degree of stability or strength back. But in exchange for something. Maybe a means to force a change as to how things are. I don't know.
There are a lot of options. It is hard to tell which is right.
Foolish thoughts potentially on my part.
And the only foolish thought that ever exists is one's set for failure.
Like fulfilling an oath that simply gets me killed in the end. I am beginning to question it. The knowing that there...
Regardless of whatever side you pick, Pavens, Balins, or even your own, I will always be.
Thank you.
Well, the story interesting, so hate to miss out.
I'm sure I can make plenty of bad decisions that may keep it that way.
Either way, whether it's good for you, bad for you, should you ever need assistance,
I'm sure I will. I do think that, considering how things have changed here, I do need to change my approach, somehow. If her uncle was still sitting on the throne, it would be simpler, as I told the bard. I would simply have done what he did.
must flow like water for it to work.
Work around what is there, find the channels to flow through. And over time you can wear away at it. Get enough and you can simply beat it all down.
So you do remember sometimes?
Occasionally. Yes. We did live on the coast. There was a lot of poetic waxing about water. Water, water, water.
I will say, Hinodae has a weird obsession with water for the fact it has nearly no sea folk.
It does, doesn't it? It's quite an interesting one at that. I think maybe get a look at this district that Faven's so interested in. And maybe call it a night.
Very well. I'm going to talk through the markets, see what I can find on them.
Very well. Good luck.
Attacker. Though I'll do so in different form. One way doesn't lead back to us.
Wise. I wish you the best. We will make this work. Who is that? Oh.
Your friend has just headed that way across the bridge.
I see. Hopefully the
I'm
night
going to
finds you well.
find-
All things considered.
I want to set up camp outside the city. I hope you find an inn or a place of rest.
I will try. Thank you. It's very high. Or am I very short? Curious. Lord Faven. Hopefully I have not disrupted your meditations. Hmm. It does.
Son I've not said. Yet, when I...
Have you put some thought into establishing an embassy here?
Why might one suggest an embassy?
The thought just occurred to me. Let us all. Depending on the expansion of relations with such.
There is already, or at least there was, significant elven presence here.
Yes.
As of late, with the situation, it seems that has dwindled as much as the native population. I will reach out to the Viceroy here at some point to ensure that they do not interfere with plans, but... Other than that, intentions do supersede need for an embassy.
I see. I have done much
Did you have
deliberation. No, I was not given a time as to when it will occur, but it was arranged. I am thankful that it was not pushed to happen today. I'm rather glad the meeting didn't happen today, all things considered. Orpheus listened in on the conversation that transpired.
Was did Orpheus learn?
Malin's intentions. I believe she has the pieces on the board for a winning move, as it were. She's going to try to win me over with kindness, I believe. I also believe that she knows some of my intentions and the like. Orpheus said to assume that likely anything I may have ever shared with the bard or said in his presence could have been shared with her.
This was the nature of your distrust in him prior.
Yes. I'm not sure how warranted it is, but I'll find out. I might have a new idea on a move. However, it's not the most likely thing to succeed. But I don't believe it should cause too many problems.
What is it you are intending?
I need to know more about this Nogitsune who sided with Aetherbane first. I need to find out if there's more that have been. If allegiances have been faltering as things have gotten worse. As twilight falls on Hinodae. What has their response been? Has someone been garnering favor with them? Most of all here, above anything else, I wish to see change. I am considering ways to actualize that change, using my brethren. Not so much to cause open conflict or any such thing. But let me put it as such. With our history and mythology, the Kitsune deeply revere the sun for their closeness to it. And there is a certain degree of revilement held towards those of night. The cycle of day and night is a balance that has come to exist ever since that initial conflict that brought it into being. Why should only the sun rule in Hinodae? Where is the moon's place? Why should the moon serve the sun? When perhaps the change that's needed is for them to reside equally, for they share the sky in equal measure, and day and night both, are ever important.
To splinter what little remains here.
Not entirely. I think it can be used to unify. If allegiances are faltering, and they are tired, as the Satori had become, of the way things are done, perhaps through action a new path could be shown. Mei Lin is in a precarious position. Her own people do not have faith in her since she took over. They've referred to her as usurping the throne. If she does not have their support, and her own people, especially those of clans that guard the borders of this nation, and others, lose their confidence as well, it will all falter and fall. But if there is still enough of my ilk, or those similar, that might potentially rally to action rather than just words, I think an argument could be made that through them a degree of stability and balance could be restored. Perhaps leaning too much on those of the sun is part of the reason it's off.
I see. This was certainly an outcome that I had not anticipated.
Hopefully these considerations do not cause problems for you. But I imagine it is less so than me trying to fulfill some old foolish oath that would do nothing but get myself killed and perhaps cause even more chaos. Unless, of course, the chaos itself is something that you could profit from.
There is always profit to be made in chaos, but that was not directly my intention. No. I figured that either this current figurehead would remain, and based on the delicateness of our position in power, leveraging that to make arrangements between myself and Hinodae as a whole, or should someone I'm more familiar with fill that position, then negotiations would be more friendly. To instead divide that into two.
In some ways it might make it easier. Perhaps. Others less so.
If you could ensure that this new twinned system was truly relied upon and not merely some intimidation or game between the two of you, then I suppose there might be some credit to its ease of my further plans, yes.
I think it can be avoided. I have to consider more, though, as far as how it would even be done. It's only the beginnings of an idea. I think if we can salvage the situation in the spirit realm, and I am amongst those that go, or am involved in some capacity, through that action I may be able to garner more support, notoriety.
Perhaps I could can see that being of assistance to your cause indeed. It would mean further delay to any further progress.
Do you believe your own aim's likely to succeed, given the hesitance they have in dealing with Valinor itself?
My personal dealings with Hinodae, I believe I have certain leverage that has not been accounted for by most outside opinions. Certain things that have very intentionally be kept quiet for the sake of, well, I daren't risk playing my hand too early that it gets disregarded.
You're quite seasoned at the game. It would not make sense to do so, of course.
But if there were 3 at the negotiating table and 2 were already on the same side, so to speak, that does change things dramatically.
Yes, it does. It's also possible I'll simply be laughed at. But it's worth a shot. In that case, I just consider other options afterwards. Just a setback, if so. Well, I should take my leave. Have you...
What do you intend to do about the bard?
I don't know. He's still trying to get back in my favor. I do think he... Perhaps it's just an infatuation. Perhaps he's simply trying to play me like an instrument. I don't know. I'm still trying to decide.
Very well. On the whole, it is fairly independent of other decisions, regardless.
Yes, it is.
Very well. Do pay consideration to your new idea. I shall consider plans myself that if that is the avenue that is pursued, all possible routes from that point onwards have been considered.
By the way, were you there when... Apologies if I did not notice, my mind was elsewhere, but were you there when Elfe was apprehended?
Yes.
Have you heard any word of what transpired after?
Only from her mouth directly, which most likely means the information is all but false, if not just entirely biased. She claims to have been cleared of any wrongdoing.
That was easy. Perhaps
Yes,
Malin does
it
see
was
her
conveniently
useful then,
so.
still. I have Orpheus helping me get more information on the Nogutsuni attacker, by the way. I'm going to look into things further soon. And see if there's anything that's workable.
Excellent. Do let me know if anything should arise that provokes a decision.
I shall.
The sooner we can decide, sooner things can be acted upon.
Luckily, the bard knows nothing about this plan. I think I can shift things back in my favor. You have a good evening.